Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to the Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, I'm just going to cover some quality of life changes that I've been thinking about. The little things that I don't know if they take a large amount of effort to like code and change up the actual game code, but I just feel like it would improve the actual enjoyment and the experience of Escape from Tarkov. And just, I like making these little videos to put some ideas out into the world. I know there's going to be some hate for it, but it is what it is. And we'll see how we go. So guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. Now I'm gonna put a cursor caution thing right here, just here somewhere or up there somewhere, saying I'm not here to rant about desync, servers, coding, all that stuff. This is quality of life changes, just things that would make the game more enjoyable that people haven't already really spoken about. I want to talk about things that majority of people haven't even thought about or have not spoken about, or unless it's been something recent. One of the points is actually really recent. So the first one I want to talk about is I want more in-depth stats. Now I know you guys will be like, "Wow, stats, what a boring thing to say." Just think about this, right? So currently everyone's like, they like, I don't know, having these hard, like, you know, flexes about how many kills they've got and PMC kills and all this other stuff. But I actually think there's some stats, if they add them to the game, it'd be actually really interesting to see the differences. So whilst we have PMC kills and scav kills, we only have deaths. I would rather see scav deaths and PMC deaths. And then you can actually probably, well, it wouldn't be extremely accurate, but you'd actually have a PMC kill death ratio and you'd have a scav kill death ratio. So how many scavs you killed and how many scavs you died from, how many PMCs you killed and how many PMCs you died to. And I think that alone would be just a cool stat to be able to say, hey, is someone good at PvP or not? Another one that'd be really sick to see is kills per map. Scavs, then you could have an actual stats tab for each map, and then you go scav kills on each map, scav deaths on each map, PMC kills on each map, PMC deaths on each map, and you could actually work out what map people are better at. And I think it's just be a really interesting way that you'd actually be able to see where your strengths and weaknesses are. You could go even a little bit further. Estimated value of rubles looted per map. You could do healing per map. All these random things that would just, in my opinion, it would just be a little cool way to learn a bit about how people are. The stuff like putting tournaments together, it would make life a lot easier for me, because if I'm putting a tournament on a specific map, I could actually see the stats of someone from that map. And then another one that I think would be really cool to add to the stats is stats for specific guns. So you could have like M4s and you could have AKs, or the 545 AKs and the 762 AKs, and then like how many kills you have with it. You don't have to go into too extreme detail, but how many times you've died to those guns or how many kills you've got with those guns. And you could actually get some sort of picture of like how like the world of Tarkov is, how many times, because you know, like I don't know how much you guys hear about it. It's like, oh, I always die to a GL40. You know, like how many times do you really die to a GL40? You know what I mean? So those people out there, you could be like, shut the fuck up. You know, you don't die that often. You've had like 6 deaths in like 400 raids. Like, it's not that often that you're dying to one. So I think it'd just be a cool thing. I don't really know how much coding would be involved in that, but I just feel like that one right there would just be a fun way to just learn a little bit more about how you play the game. You could see how your friends play the game, and it just overall would make just the quality of life improved. Next up, I have locked and / pinning containers in a stash for sorting the stashes. Now, we do know that Nikita stated that the sort stash button and the sort container thing was just like a first iteration to like do a bit of a teaser test to see what people thought. But he just said it was really clunky and he actually wanted to improve it, and it will be getting improved. But I think just a simple one for now is if I could just pin or lock my containers from moving, and I have them on specific squares at the bottom of my stash, so I could sort the rest of the stash, that would be godly. It'd be absolutely godly. It'd be the quality of life from that alone would save so much time after raids, just cleaning up stashes and sorting stashes, being able to just pin certain containers to specific locations. It'd actually be really cool as well if they added to the sort button where you could sort, you know how like on the side you can filter things? You could sort by a filter. So you just go sort ammunition, and it just moves all the ammunition that's loose to the top and just sorts all that out. Or you could press the sort button and it would move all the ammunition to containers that you have like a filter onto. So you say on this container, I want to have all the, I don't know, the AR variants ammunition, or oh, and this one I want all the pistol ammo variants, for example. And you could actually just click sort button and it goes, all the stuff automatically goes there. Would be a massive quality of life thing. It would save a lot of time. One of the things I absolutely hate is wasting time. And I feel like the more I'm spending sorting my stash, the more frustrated I get at playing Tarkov. And the more I just want to get into a raid and do something else than sort of stash out. So I think that would be a nice little addition that would be, you know, just handy. The next one, it doesn't really affect a lot of people, but it would affect a few thousand people at least. And that is the streamer mode. And I'm not asking for some real special fandangled streamer mode. I literally just want it that when I die, it would just say a random name. That's it. A random name. They can keep the dog tag. They can have, you know, their name kills you and all that stuff. I don't really care. You can have all my dog tags for all I care. But just like sometimes there's offensive names being like targeting streamers or something like that, or someone's consistently killing you, but their stream sniping to do it deliberately, try and get under your skin. But if it gives you a random name each time, you'll never know. So that, to me, I feel like would be a really just simple way. And on top of that, just a way to just hide the raid code. Now, I know for bug testing, it's nice to have the raid code for BSG, but I kind of feel like the trade-off would be all right if maybe they could just have the raid code in the log, for example, when you do the logging, and it could just instead on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, it could just go away, just disappear. And then you could do no cam streams and people wouldn't have these big weird images over that. Doesn't really affect a lot of people, that one, but it does affect a few thousand, and it would be just a nice, simple addition. All they have to do is literally change the names of who kills you to a random name. That's it. All right, so the next one I've got is crafting quality of life improvements. There is a lot that needs to happen with the crafting. It's a really clunky system at the moment, but two things that one would save a lot of time and just make it a lot smoother process. Now, the first one I would love to see added is on the main screen where you press like enter raid and stash and all that stuff. Just down the bottom left, literally just it says like crafting in queue and just a list, and it just says how long's left or if something's completed. So I don't even have to click the hideout. Just a neat little tiny menu. It says how long's left on a craft, how long's left on an upgrade, and if something's complete. And just have that down the bottom left, nice and tidy. You could even have a button where it hides it so you don't have to see it if you don't want to. But it'd just be nice, and it would mean that you don't have to go into the hideout, into the actual thing, scroll down to the one you're up to and go, oh shit, there's actually 2 minutes 45 seconds left. You know, like all those clicks to go all that way just to find out that you still got to wait another 2.5 minutes to, you know, and then you go back out. And the first time you go into a hideout, the loading of it is just clunky anyway. So personally, I think that'd be a really, really smooth, cool addition. I've actually told Nikita about that one. So I don't know if that will ever get added to the game, but if it does, I would love it. I don't really want to take credit to it. I just think it'd be a really sick one to have because that one would save a lot of time. I've been really enjoying the crafting in patch 0.12.9. And if something like that was to be added, big thumbs up. Next one involving the crafting is just pinning crafts to the top of the crafting list. If you have 3 crafts that you do every single time, I could just go pin, 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 boom, on top of the list, and that's all. I'd have to scroll down ever again. I could just literally go to the lavatory. There's my 3 crafts that I do. Just start them, and then that's it. I don't even know why it randomizes each time. That's frustrating in itself. But literally, if they could just pin, you could pin different crafts to the top of the list. That would be great. I think that would be would make it a really enjoyable experience when you're crafting something instead of having to scroll down and look for it and then go back up and look again. Another one which is really simple, and someone actually just DM'd to me the other day. I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name, but he actually said, hey, it'd be cool if you could do this. And hey, I'm actually making a video about quality of life improvements, and I think this would be a nice one. And it is literally right-clicking items in your stash to hand in for a quest. So say you've just found a Tashonka, instead of having to go to the trader, go to the task, and then go hand in. You can literally just go, oh, I've got a Tashonka, right click, hand in for quest. And it just like goes hand in or task when you right click on it. And it'll just say the task name, you press the button, it goes, disappears, and it's added to the quest. I think something like that would be super smooth. Save you going through a heap of menus again. And it would just be nice and cool. So then that way at the end of a raid, you just put everything in the inventory, just hand in the ones to your task that you want to hand in, and you don't have to think about it. There's no even leaving the stash there. So it saves time just there. And my second last one, I don't know, like, I think they're doing this eventually, but I think a really massive quality of life improvement would be able to have 2 separate profiles on the one account. You literally can have a USEC, you literally can have a bear, and you have your separate stashes, separate inventory, separate playthroughs. And then people can actually take one really serious. Like, I want to have the best stats and do everything really serious on one. And then they can just mess around on the other. And then, because I know some people really do care about their stats. It's like a mentality thing where you have to always try and be better than other people. If you could have an account where people could take it serious and they can do that on that account. And then the other one, they can just, I don't know, hatchet runs to spawns if they really want to. I don't really care. But if they also want to do something like a challenge, like a TOS 1 to 40 challenge or a hardcore challenge or whatever they want to do, they can actually do that. And they don't have to feel that pressure of like, oh, what if I lose all my rubles? Or, you know, what if, you know, my stats look shit and my mates care, or, you know, that stuff. So I think it'd be really cool. I do believe that might be coming though. I don't think it's soon though. I just remember it coming up in a podcast or a Tarkov TV live like a long time ago. And there was some sort of talk about that. Now, my final one, and this one might be a little bit controversial, but it makes sense. It makes so much sense, and I can't stop thinking about it since he said it. General Sam the other day said that when you get into a raid, and it's in his video, if you want to go check it out, it's his most recent YouTube video on Tarkov. He says, when you go into a raid and you loot an item, and it's got to be found in raid to get out and all that other stuff to hand it in for a quest, and you hear this gunshot in the other side of the map, instead of going to the gunshot, you're like, oh, I've got this LEDX, I don't want to die with it, I don't want to like lose my found in raid status. Instead of it being found in raid only when you extract, and you've had the XP all the time spent in raid, it should be once that time in raid has elapsed, or you've got that XP, that it stays found in raid even if it's in your container and you die. It makes so much more sense, because just think about the times you go into a raid, you go into, say, a tech store, or you open a hidden stash or a duffel bag or whatever, and you find a graphics card. The immediate thought process is, I have to extract. I have to leave the raid. And it's such a bad way of playing, because not only do you have to wait 2 or 3 more minutes to load back into another raid, you know, you're now not even going to spend much time in that raid, so you're spending the next 5 minutes trying to get out of the raid, and then obviously going back into the inventory sort and all that stuff and loading it. I feel like it just makes sense. It still has all the same effects. Now, I know you guys are going to be out there saying, oh, but Billy the Hatcheter's going to run up and steal the graphics card and shove it in his butthole and then hide in a computer room or in a closet until the time's elapsed, and then he'll disconnect. He would have put it in his butthole anyway. It wouldn't have made any difference. So you would have lost the graphics card anyway. That's what I'm thinking. At least this way, there's probably going to be more people staying in the maps longer. There's going to be more people going for those fights. And it just benefits people overall in general. So I don't see how I can't really think of any major negatives. The only arguing factor is the fact that people think they're just someone's going to run into a raid, pick up an item, say a red key card, and then they're going to shove it in their container and hide, so they get the found in raid status. It just means more is going to go on the flea market anyway. And then they'll be cheaper for you, because there'll be more people finding them and still having them found in raid, instead of having like 3 non-found in raid red key cards, the ones that run for them 24/7. So I don't know. I've been thinking about this one a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Quality of life, I think it would improve in every aspect, and it still worked against a lot of the other issues for, you know, like buying stuff on the flea market and being able to resell it and stuff like that, because it needs to be taken from a raid. So it stops all this, like it still has the same effect on all RMT stuff. I'm going to leave that with you. We'll finish this video up here. Like I said, I just wanted to put these thoughts out into the universe, see what you think and all that. If you have any quality of life improvements you think you'd like to see, and I can guarantee you there's already like 15 people, or more than that, hundreds of people that have been writing in the comments going, oh, just fix the servers in the desync, this has crashed. If you guys live in that world where that's the only thing you can think about, just you need to play a different game. This game's not going to have that shit fixed in a long time. All right? It's better than what it used to be, and it's still going to be a long time. Like it's going to get better in the future, but it's going to be a long time till it's perfect, if ever. So if you're complaining hard about that now, it's going to be a long road for you, mate. So just embrace just some fantasy world thinking, and just think about like some of the cool things that you'd like to see in Escape from Tarkov, quality life improvements, primarily for this video. I'm not talking about like additions to the game. Like, if I know I get a lot of questions, I'd love to see a 40, like my favorite gun in real life, and the gun I'd like to see in Escape from Tarkov is a 45-70 Gov lever action. I get that question a lot. Like, this isn't like what content you'd like to see added to the game. If you think about everything I've said, it's not really adding any content. It's just quality of life improvement. So before you start writing all the guns you'd like to see in the game and all that, that's not quality of life. Anyway, finishing this one up here. If you've got to here, thank you so much for watching for so long. Take the time, like, comment for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out with discoverability. And if you've been enjoying my content, consider subscribing and notification bell for keeping up to date with the latest information. I put out guides all the time. The raid series going hard. The hardcore series is about to kick off on the YouTube channel as well, if not already. And I thought I'd just share this with you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hope you have a safe and wonderful day, morning, evening, wherever you are. And lastly, guys, I'll see you next time.